What's up, guys and gals? Red Icing back with another theory suggested by a commenter. I didn't have much time to research this week, and also time is limited this weekend for me to work on theory videos, so I'll point out a simple but cool theory. Hopefully I can get the community questions vid out this weekend as well. Also, I'd like to point out, if I make a mistake somewhere in this video, point it out immediately so I can fix it in the annotations. Also, remember not to take any of this as concrete info. It is a theory and will remain such until further evidence proves it or debunks it. This theory was brought to my attention by Sammy Rocha. It's so simple and I can't believe that I overlooked it, and I've been kicking myself in the ass for not noticing it sooner. Well, the theory is that the color of the gloves each character has is a reference to their elemental attack. There are some discrepancies here and there, but a theme may have taken place in the costume design. Alright, now let's take a look at what we already know for sure, elemental wise. Makoto is Frey/nuclear, Anne is Agi and Dia, and Ryuji is Zio. When we take a look at their gloves, it makes sense in two of the cases. Ryuji has yellow gloves, further linking him to Zio, and Anne has pink gloves, which could represent both the Agi and Dia magics. Makoto is iffy as her gloves are white. In this pic you will see that Frey is light blue, but there are chances she has some other element attached to her, especially if she is the Priestess Arcana of Persona 5. Right now this theory seems iffy at best, but when we go into speculated elements it makes more sense. So let's go over the most likely elements speculated for each character. First, we have to start off with the main character, as some of you have suggested two different outcomes. In my own opinion, notice my own opinion, Arson is an Agi user. It makes too much sense. Instead of a flash of light like other party members, Arson is summoned in a fiery display. Not to mention, it makes sense gameplay wise as the main character is a wild card. When Anne joins as the fourth member, she was obviously an Agi user, which means by the time Anne joins the team, the main character needs to fill in the missing element from the team, emphasizing the acquisition of new personas. Not to mention, Arson sounds a lot like arson, which, hey, burn down whatever you want, Pyro. By the way, I say personas instead of demons, as this scene from trailer 3 says persona get, and I've just been running with that. Anyways, if we look at the main character's gloves, they are crimson red, a further link to Arson being an Agi user. I know some of you suspect Arsene is a Garu user, but from most of these suggestions, the only link given between Arsene and Garu is his wings. That's not a lot to go on. If you have any further evidence linking Garu and Arsene together, feel free to leave a comment. The next character we will focus on is Yusuke, as he has used magic in a cutscene which we can relate to Bufu due to the ice crystals on the enemy. Not only that, but his persona is based on Goemon, who has an aversion to fire since he was boiled alive at his death. If we look at Yusuke's gloves, they are blue, giving further evidence to the glove elemental theory. Moving on, we look at Haru. Her gloves are the pinkish purplish that seem to line up with the shockwave/gravity attack type. This makes sense as Haru can complete the elemental spectrum, excluding Hama and Muto of course, as they are risky attacks that don't act in the same way as other elements. The shockwave gravity attack makes even more sense for Haru, as her weapons historically focus on brute force and explosions. Alright, on to the next character, Crow. His gloves are black, and if we look at another part of his design we can see a striped tie of black and white. As Crow is still a mystery Atlas has tucked away for a later reveal, we can't say anything about him definitely. But as the rest of the party members cover the rest of the elements, Crow may just take up the Muto element with a chance of Hama being included. I know the Muto element on the display is red, but that just may be because the backgrounds and the elements shown here are black, so you can't put black on black. It meshes into each other and you just get a black square. Anyways, if this is the case for Crow, I will be disappointed, as I usually avoid these type of characters in my party. Be on the lookout for an update on this character, especially at E3 or later. And now we move on to the last character, Morgana. I know some of you are going to be asking, what about Futaba? Futaba isn't an active fighter, so assigning an element to her will be kind of pointless right now. Back onto the subject of Morgana though. For this theory, Morgana is the fly in the ointment. Her adorable little cat paws do not have any gloves on them. The only colors detailed within her thief design is the yellow bandana around her neck, her paws are white, her eyes are blue as hell, and she has golden buttons on her belt. We already know Ryuji is the Zeo user, so the yellow and gold do not make sense. Why the heck would you need 2 Zeo users in the first dungeon? Her blue eyes could be related to Bufu, but since Yusuke is rumored to be Bufu, it also doesn't make sense. If we look at Zoro, the main colors are black and silver, with yellow, blue, and red taking minor roles around the design. It would make the most sense for Morgana to be a Garu user, but the lack of green in the design of her and her persona doesn't give any clue of what her element is. She is the second team member to join the party, and it is way too early in the game for her to have Hama and Muto to be a main element. Though there is one thing that I can point out. She is the second team member, so it is likely she will have Dia as an element, which could be reflected in her paw color. Well, I know I kind of stormed through that a little fast, but that's the end of the theory. Thanks again to Sammy Rocha for pointing this out. So what do you guys think? Do you have any questions? Any theories of your own? Leave a comment down below, and if you want me to reply to it, start off the comment with red. Also, I don't know how much time I will have this weekend for videos. I am very busy, but I'm going to try to get the new community questions vid up this weekend at least. Thanks for all the support, theories, and corrections from the community. It really helps the channel. Again, I cannot think of a closer, so
goodbye.